He's an 8-time Louisiana Association of Broadcasters Award winner. And he snapped a ball through his legs.
Wait, why does your name get to go first?
Shut up.
This is Scone T.
Because they made us.
Hey, idiot. Stop taking selfies and come do the show.
Well, hold on.
You're late already. You're late already. I don't want. We're doing a show. His mic's not even on. His mic's not even on.
6 years ago.
Oh my God!
That's a selfie from 6 years ago.
Look how fat you were.
I know.
Wait, look at this.
Know,
this
dude.
is totally worth it.
I told you it was worth it. Thank you.
Oh my God!
And now 7 years later, here we are with another selfie.
Beard is.
6 years.
We need side by side.
Yeah, dude. Look,
that
man.
was worth it.
Man,
That
I told you.
Wow.
Hell yeah, dude.
Where was that?
Walk-ons after a before game.
And that was the purple shirt that you wore every day.
Yes, yeah, for like 2 or 3 years. For every
day.
game.
You wore that like every day.
Well, no, that was every game. I would only wear it on game days.
Day.
No.
You wore that every day.
I wear my Star Wars shirt every day.
No, you do wear that every day.
That shirt was specifically a game day shirt, and then I retired it after we won the Natty, and it has never touched my body again.
So
and it will never again. That was my grandpa's old shirt.
Special day today. It is National Bourbon Day.
National Bourbon
Day. We are at Oliver Twist for Scone T. We are just a couple of days away from LSU in the College World Series. Literally minutes ago, the SEC Network revealed the opponents for the 2024 season with Texas and Oklahoma coming into the league.
I haven't even looked at it yet, so I'm going to do a live react.
We're going to do it live. LSU got a commitment from Kylan Billiot.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Who, by the way, just follow me on Twitter.
I wanted to say Billiot.
Okay.
But Louis, somebody told me Billiot.
How about this? So, you know Taylor O'Brien, the videographer for Gordon McKernan?
Oh, yeah, Taylor O'Brien. I know the
No.
I know
Taylor O'Brien is from down to Bayou.
Oh, okay.
Like deep down to Bayou, okay?
Taylor.
Like Terrebonne, like down to Bayou. Like might be from Cuddle. Like he's way down there. Anyway, so he did a collab for 104.5 ESPN's Instagram with highlights of Kylan. And I said, hey, man, like, knowing that he's from Terrebonne. Kylan's from Terrebonne. I'm like, hey, man, how do you pronounce his name? Look at what he sends to me. Kylan, my shirt. I'm like, I was like, bro, look what I said. So he phonetically spelled the kid's first name.
Actually, he spelled Kylan as well phonetically, which is like wrong. Like he didn't even. That's not how you would spell Kylan phonetically, right? It'd be like Lynn.
But that's not. And so I was like, bro, his last name. And I said, only a dude from the Bayou would assume everyone would know that. But look, it's Billiot.
Okay, so it is Billiot.
Look, Billiot.
See, so that's interesting because in like traditional French, it would absolutely be Billiot, right?
Sure.
Or maybe Billiot.
All right.
Either way, cool. Hell yeah, bro.
I have one question for you.
Yo.
Thanks to everybody for watching or listening live. We appreciate you. Watching or listening on demand, thank you as well. YouTube, smash the like button. Facebook, please subscribe up or like the page, share the post, all that sort of stuff. We appreciate it. I have one question.
Yo.
Are we getting another Tennessee video?
Oh, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see it.
Okay, so we are. That's exciting.
I mean,
that's very exciting.
I mean, does it look like maybe little boy in mama's heels staying up past his bedtime? I don't know. I guess we're going to have to find out. Something tells me it's time for the big dicks in the room to put little boy to sleep come Saturday night. But we'll see.
Okay,
we'll see.
Do you want to – all right, we'll get to baseball. Do you want to do the football schedule thing first?
Yeah. Let's do that first. Okay, let me see. LSU.
I'll go. I got it. I'm gonna tell you.
Okay, hold on.
Ready?
Let me get my notes here. Let me pull up chat real quick. Sorry, just got connected to the internet. All right, yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. I love it, by the way.
Okay. And I've talked a lot of
Home
shit
games.
about Georgia's schedule being easy, but okay.
Oh, no. Georgia's schedule next year.
No. Next year I'm talking about. Next year.
this coming 23 Georgia's schedule. 24 Georgia's schedule is a bitch.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
All right, we'll go through it. LSU home games in 2024. Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma. in Tiger Stadium.
Ooh.
Ole Miss, Vandy.
Okay.
You get Vandy.
Okay.
The fact that Vandy showed up on the schedule is a massive win.
I haven't. We haven't played Vandy at home since I played Vandy at home.
It would have been 2009,
right?
Yes,
yeah.
2009. Away games.
Wow, that's 14 years now. What the fuck? Sorry. Away games. Okay, give me the away games.
Arkansas.
Okay, love it.
Florida.
Hey, well, you dirty swamp-sucking son of a bitch. Looks like we got one trip left in us after all. Let's fucking ride.
South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Texas A&M.
Bro, at Williams-Brice is a cool trip.
That is a great trip.
I tore my ACL, and I still love that stadium. Like, that was a – that's another – okay, there are a few fan bases in college football that I appreciate because they love it, and they really shouldn't by our
standards.
Highfalutin, our aristocratic standards. It's like Nebraska fans for last decade.
Yes.
Texas A&M fans all time.
Yes.
South Carolina fans are absolutely in that group, and those are the three that I got off that I've been slowly building a list. Just out of South Carolina right now. Can you give me a fourth? Like fans that shouldn't love it as much as they do, but they do anyway. And somebody like Iowa doesn't really count because Iowa has these really high moments, and Iowa's kind of better than they should be. Like A&M should hold themselves to a higher standard. And South Carolina's been just awful forever. Nebraska is not even a shadow of their past. They're a ghost, a poltergeist, and yet they still sell out every game. Like Iowa fans have ample reason to be happy, I feel.
I've always said Nebraska selling out for as long as they have is the greatest indictment on Lincoln, Nebraska ever. When there's nothing better to do than go watch a shitty football team for a decade.
Potentially until the age of NIL.
Yeah.
And we'll see. We'll see because Lincoln maybe can make a comeback because people are going to pay. Talked to Scott Shanley about it this morning.
Nebraska's going to continue to suck ass. But if anybody can pull them out of it, yes. If anybody can pull them out of it.
This year they might suck ass, but I think they're going to be pretty good soon.
The fact that
they could be Minnesota but better. Absolutely.
The fact that Matt Rule has won at Temple and Baylor at the level
Baylor
at which he did is, yes, Baylor after scandal, Baylor. Yeah. And Temple, which is arguably the worst Division I football program in them and Rutgers over 100 years. He might be able to do it. So also in 2024, remember, you open up the season in Vegas against USC, and you get UCLA in Baton Rouge. So think about that schedule.
Both? You get both LA
in the same
schools?
Year. Yeah.
What?
So you play both Big Ten opponents.
Oh, wait, hold on. That's, okay, I was kind of salty at the SEC for not requiring 10 Power 5 games, but LSU's got 10 Power 5 games. It's badass. We win as fans. That's great. Right?
I mean,
yeah,
it's going to be awesome to watch all of this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's incredible.
I wish everybody did this. I wish we got rid of, you have Nichols and South Alabama shoehorned in there as well. But
only 2 cupcakes.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Normally there's a normally isn't it at least 3, or you play like a Utah State or something?
Well,
like
until they had the mandate for the Power 5, sometimes you'd have 4 playoffs.
Yeah.
But now the rule has been the 1 Power 5 non-conference, and then you usually have 2 G5 schools and 1 like FCS school.
God, that's a great schedule. Okay, so give me so USC in Vegas.
Do you ever go back and look at schedules from like the 1970s?
No.
All right, hang on. I want to do this.
Is that how they used to do it back in the day?
This is for. I want to do this exercise. Hang on one second. LSU. I want to pull up a former LSU schedule that I absolutely love.
That is good.
So we're drinking a 1792 Sweet Wheat. 1792 is really well done.
Almost like. Woo.
So 1792 is this is a Buffalo Trace product, and they have a full line. They have their bottled in bond is something I discovered during COVID, which is magnificent. But they've got full proof and they've got small batch. Their 2 allocated whiskeys that are really hard to find are Sweet Wheat and 12 Year. I have a bottle of the 12-year at the house, which is very good. Sweet wheat is magnificent. It's just really, really, really hard to find. It's 92 proof, and again, where you replace the grain of the mash bill with wheat, you're going to get a wheated bourbon. I love wheated bourbon because it's sweeter and softer and smoother, and this at 92 proof is just about perfect. So
still, though, despite it being, sweet and delicate is an excellent way to put it when it first hits your mouth. But there is sometimes I don't like when stuff is too smooth, right? Because what are we actually doing? There is a subtle yet extended burn that creeps down the throat, through the sternum, feeling it in my diaphragm a little bit. It almost feels like in my like it's like slowly just spreading
That's your long
throughout
finish.
Yeah, that is good. Finish, yes. That is really good.
The sweet wheat's very good. Okay, so the is this? Okay, yeah. So this is LSU's 1986 schedule. Ready?
Okay.
Non-conference game against Texas A&M to
Hell
open.
Yeah.
Then you had Miami of Ohio, which they lost, actually, Miami of Ohio.
Wow, what?
Then you played Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, North Carolina in Baton Rouge, Ole Miss, Bama, Mississippi State, Notre Dame in November, and then Tulane,
so
which
was before the concept of cupcake games had really come to full fruition?
Your only cupcake was Miami of Ohio when you lost that game. But I love this one as well.
Wow.
So, no, not that one. Maybe maybe I'm missing it by a year. Hang on. I think it's maybe 88. Let me do this.
Well, I do have a question for you as well about this year's schedule.
Yes, okay, here you go. You ready? Okay.
Ooh.
1988, Texas A&M
out of conference.
Tennessee in Knoxville. Ohio State in Columbus.
Wow, at the shoe?
That was a game LSU lost 36-33. Blew a big lead. Blew a huge lead in that game.
Oh, what the fuck? We almost beat Ohio State in Columbus in
so
the
LSU was good right there.
1980?
LSU was good. They won the SEC in 86 with Tommy Hodson. They went to the Gator Bowl in 87.
Actually, we looked it up this morning. Tommy Hodson winningest.
Well, Tommy Hodson has every career record
in LSU.
Because he was a 4-year starter, and they were good. And then he was his senior year in '89. He was a preseason. I had a Hodson for Heisman poster in '89, and then they shit the bed that season. Unfortunately, they lost some close games early and just didn't recover.
Do you know who's tied for second in quarterback wins in the program?
In wins,
I can't remember. I remember one. I don't know if I can remember the other.
It would be Burt Jones.
I think yes. I think he is one.
Probably Warren Rabb.
Nope. 27 wins.
Oh, you need to check Warren Rabb.
No, Taylor did it all this morning. Added them all up. I can ask him if he looked at Warren Rabb. But I know this guy's tied for second. I know it.
Oh, Herb Tyler.
Yeah, okay. Nice pull, dude. I didn't think you were going to get there. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
27-11 starting record, Herb Tyler.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Work out, dude.
Herb,
second winningest quarterback in school history.
Herb, when Jamie Howard got hurt in 95, Herb took over as a freshman and then started for 4 years. That's right. He came back in 90. Yeah, that makes sense. So, unfortunately, 98 was a really shitty season. They went 3-8. Otherwise, no, they won 4 games in 98, 3 games in 99. So, otherwise, he would have held that record by himself if they didn't. And 98 was supposed to be. They were preseason top 10 in 98. Kevin Falk came back for his senior year. You had Herb Tyler as senior. You had Boogers. Their defense blew. They hired Lou Tepper. He was a dreadful defensive coordinator.
Like that bad?
Lost. It was that bad, yeah. It was like epically bad. And that's what lost DiNardo his job, because after 98, the joke with Lou Tepper was like he literally wrote the book on the drop linebacker. Like he wrote a book on defense, and he was so bad. Thomas Dunson is like still a name that lives in infamy in LSU history because it was that bad. And then DiNardo wouldn't fire. It was like, think Bo Pelini, but you're so stubborn. But you're so stubborn.
You don't fire Bo Pelini.
You don't fire Bo. You bring him back. That's the equivalent.
Wow.
So in 98 they lost.
So he tied the noose himself. DiNardo did.
Oh yeah, no doubt. So in 98, here's the thing that sucked about it. And so 98 was supposed to be a great year.
Alan Black says Tony Moss was a wide receiver then, if memory serves me correct. Talking about Tommy Hodson.
Yeah, Tony Moss.
John DeLon says Tony Moss wore number 6.
He wore number 6. He was a flanker. in the late 80s, maybe finished up in 90, I want to say, Tony Moss. But so in 98, they blew the doors off of Auburn at Jordan-Hare. Then they played Idaho and gave up. They won it 53-20, but Idaho had like 500 yards in the game. You could tell it was going to be a problem. And then they lost to Georgia 28-27. Quincy Carter was a freshman. That was a great game. It was a great game, and I think Georgia scored like in every possession of the second half. Then they lost in the Swamp. And then they lost to Tim Couch in Kentucky 39-36. And that was like a late field goal at the end of the game. So they lost some close games. They lost to Ole Miss in overtime. They lost to Bama in a close game in Baton Rouge.
Lost to Notre Dame,
and that was a game. I was at that game in South Bend, and Kevin Falk had a kickoff return for a touchdown in that game. It's just they could not get off the field. And Herb Tyler got hurt in that game, and Craig Nall ended up finishing that game at quarterback. I don't know why we're going way down memory lane here with this, but yeah, the '98 team had grand expectations and fell flat. But anyway, Herb Tyler.
Come back. Okay, so come back to this schedule though. And let's talk about OU, because the announcement earlier today was OU or Texas, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And so it kind of begs the question, which would you have rather played? And I answered this question. So we know we're playing Oklahoma now, but in terms of getting the win, which program would you rather play in 2024?
Oklahoma.
I agree. That's actually where I land.
Yeah.
Which, isn't that such an insane indictment of Brent Venables? That Oklahoma should not be the answer.
Yes.
It should easily be Texas.
Well, I also immediately default to quarterback. And so Dylan Gabriel's back at Oklahoma this year, but he's going to be gone in 2024.
And they have a really good recruit, but he's unproven.
Yes. And then when I think about Texas, you'll be in either – I don't think Quinn Ewers will be back in 2024, but Arch Manning will be either a redshirt freshman or a sophomore. And I think there's just probably a higher ceiling there with Sark.
Look, I don't think Sark's a good coach, but I don't know anything about Brent Venables. All I've seen Brent Venables do is never being a head coach, coming from a weird environment with Dabo Swinney, being a head coach, and taking Oklahoma, a team that had 24 consecutive winning seasons and going 6-7. And he's supposed to be a defensive coach, and the defense is awful. And I know he's recruited well and everything, so maybe he makes me eat my words, but it is about as brutal of a year one. How about this? 24 winning seasons in a row. In the past dozen years, Oklahoma has only failed to win 10 games twice, and yet Brent Venables goes 6-7 with the better roster than the rest of the conference. Scary times. I know they had dealt with injuries. I know all the excuses, okay? I know all the excuses, so maybe they get it fixed this year, but I would be shaking a bit if I'm an Oklahoma fan where it looks like we really tripped and made a bad hire right before about to enter the SEC. And now you got to go to Death Valley to take on the Brian Kelly-led LSU Tigers.
Your two hardest games in 24, Bama at home and at Florida. Right?
So you're going to have to give me the whole schedule again.
Your home games are Bama, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, and Vandy. Now, you may see Ole Miss quarterbacked in 24 by Walker Howard. That would be interesting if Walker's quarterbacking Ole Miss in Baton Rouge. But your home games are Bama, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Vandy. And your away games are Arkansas first year without KJ Jefferson. Florida, you got to go there. But South Carolina, they'll be first year without Spencer Rattler. Mm-hmm. And then Texas A&M, who knows what the fuck Texas A&M is going to be. So I love
Florida,
it.
Yeah,
you got a neutral site game against USC, which kind of scares you a little bit because.
That would be your other toughest game. That would be your second toughest game.
But again,
maybe.
But Caleb Williams is going to be the first pick in the draft, so he ain't even going to be there.
Yeah, but I'm not. But it's going to be
Riley. It's going to be USC's first game without Caleb Williams.
That's fair. First game does change the math on that a little bit, but
it's different if it's November.
But still, that could be a USC program, depending on what happens this year with the defense, that is significantly better.
Maybe
than what we're talking about currently. I think SC will be a tougher game than Florida. I think neutral against SC, even working a new quarterback, will be a tougher game against Florida. You'll be working a new quarterback as well.
I'm just saying it's harder to play at Florida. Playing in the swamp, it's
playing in the swamp. Look, it's the toughest
win.
environment. It's the toughest environment. They'll probably put it at night, and the fans
will be going apeshit. It's, like we talked about on the show before, it's the one game that Florida really sells out and the fans go absolutely insane over. So I feel you. The environment will be tougher than Vegas. I just wonder if the Florida team will be as good as SC at that point.
The one gigantic omission is no Mississippi State. And Mississippi State is the opponent LSU has played the most in its football history. And I believe there's only like one sort of weird random year, because they haven't played consecutively. Like they missed a year, maybe like during the World War. So it was something like that. Like they missed a year somewhere along the way, like kind of like with COVID, where it was just a weird one-off, and But Mississippi State and LSU have played like 100. They play like every year of LSU football.
I love playing Mississippi State, so that is a bit disappointing.
So that's the one big omission.
Auburn not being on there feels weird.
Well, that's true. But you know what's weird about, like, I love the Auburn series. I've talked about that forever, but that's my favorite LSU rivalry game. But the thing about LSU and Auburn isn't a great traditional rivalry. They didn't play every year until like the late 70s or 80s. It wasn't an every year thing. So they've had some of the best games, which is why I love it. But
post 2000 golden age, it's been massive.
Even before then, the 90s is when you started with all the named games. We had 88 was Earthquake, but you had the interception game, the Bring Back the Magic game. You had the Cecil Collins game in 97.
Yeah.
It was like in the 90s is when the barn burner. That's when it really started to.
So do you think people are upset about not having Auburn?
I am. I said that's my favorite game that LSU plays is the Auburn game. So that's my personal favorite. And the thing with LSU, and there is no wrong answer. I've been asked this a bajillion times over the years, because everyone, like you go to media days and you'll talk to other media from different markets, and they're like, oh, to LSU fans, what's the biggest game? Well, it really depends generationally. Like, to my grandfather, he'll tell you Ole Miss, because it was all about Ole Miss in the 50s and Johnny Vaught and all that sort of stuff. And then
mine as well.
In the 70s, it would be like, well, Bear Bryant and Alabama and everything. Well, like, in the 2000s, it would have been Florida, when LSU and Florida would flip-flop in national championships. So there's a lot of LSU fans probably in their late 20s.
Could have been Auburn as well, though.
But for me, as a 40-year-old, it's Auburn.
Yeah.
But the people younger than me, before Bama got really good with Saban, there was that in-between where it was LSU and Florida.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And so, like, you played in some of those. You played in those games. So, like, people got, like, guys your age and maybe a little younger will probably say Florida. They're those that will. So.
It's funny, though. I kind of paint myself everything conversation as more as the Auburn crowd, just because my most fanhood of LSU pre-playing was those early 2000 Saban years, where it seemed like Auburn, LSU, whoever won that game was winning the West.
Yeah, man. I mean, anyway.
But we're burying the lead. At least we still get to play for the most dangerously serrated and beautiful trophy in all of college football, boys. The Golden Boot is alive and well. Still getting to play them Hogs.
We talked about it on AFR. Muse and I
can't kill it. It's like a zombie.
Like, I would love to see that game not happen just for that purpose. Just so we could laugh at that stupid fucking trophy.
It's one of the best trophies in the country.
Be like, this is so dumb, nobody cares. Be done with this stupid fucking game. But if you're going to tell me
I object,
I have to go, but if you're going to tell me I have to go on the road and play an SEC game, like, give me this road schedule. Give me Arkansas, Florida, South Carolina, A&M. Arkansas first year without KJ, South Carolina without Rattler. Yeah. Who knows what Florida and A&M are going to be?
You dodge Georgia and Tennessee.
Oh my God!
You get Vandy at home.
Bama's at home. Vandy on the schedule. Period. Yes.
Because Hugh Freeze Auburn 24 could be kind of frisky.
Maybe.
I'm not too worried about Mississippi State 24, so I would have taken that.
I think Zach Arnett was a terrible hire.
I'm kind of worried about that, dude. Here's what I'll say. Zach Arnett. Here's what I'll say.
What are you worried about?
Like, I'm worried about it, like, because I like Mississippi State. They're like my second SEC school if I had one. So, I mean, I'm like worried about,
we had the cigar cut last week.
I'm worried for my Mississippi State friends.
I'm in. So, by the way, it's 7:20, like, we got to get into some College World Series.
Yeah, what am I? I'm just going for it.
Real quick,
I'm hyped, dude. I like your schedule talk.
It is, if you're watching live, it is National Bourbon Day. And here at Oliver Twist today, with more than 1,000 different whiskeys behind us. Everything on the back bar today is 50% off. They're giving you, like, everything is 50% off.
What?
So just while we're here. So just until 9 p.m. tonight. So if you're watching this on demand or seeing it later, this is just while we're live here and here till 9 o'clock. But, like, if you want to try if they've got Pappies, I don't know if they've got them or if the bottles have been killed, but you want to try anything, the vertical set of the Wellers, the Pappies, any of the Blanton's Gold, like all of the rare allocated shit that's so expensive and hard to find, like $100 pours that nobody could ever really justify, you could get for half price tonight. That's
insane.
It's so worth coming here tonight to try this stuff. So that's until 9, so you got an hour and a half to get over here and get you a pour or something. So shout out Oliver Twist.
Dude, come on. If you're a bourbon fan and you like to drink nice bourbon, when are you ever going to get bourbon for 50% off? Just straight up half off. Like, there's literally not going to be a better time.
I also want to say this. So we're big fans of Old Elk. Old Elk is out of Colorado. They've done amazing stuff. The CEO,
like Coach Prime.
The CEO of this company is Luis Gonzalez, not the Luis Gonzalez who played baseball. Luis Gonzalez from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, who went to Most Blessed Sacrament, shout out, and who was sitting right over there in the blue shirt.
Oh, nice, dude. So, hell yeah, man.
He sort of like slyly texted me yesterday.
Yeah, okay. He's got a little party of juice heads around.
That we were going to be in town, or that we were going to be doing the show here today, and didn't tell me he was coming. So very cool, though. So
where's Old Elk made?
This is the Old Elk cigar cut. So So here's the story of Old Elk. Old Elk is one company as part of a holding company that has tons of stuff that includes Otterbox. So he was like running Otterbox.
Oh,
this dude's in his 30s. Like he's like a wunderkind. Yes. Like, and anyway, so they wanted to get into whiskey.
Where do you go to school? Not LSU.
No, I think LSU.
Oh, wow.
Went to MBS.
Okay.
And went to MBS. I don't know where he went to college. Maybe it was LSU. But anyway, so hey, look at you there.
What is this? This is a Malort cocktail. Okay. Okay, I was about to say, it doesn't look like one. If anybody wants some Malort, feel free. Chicago's finest, dude. Come up here tonight. Forget about Old Elk. Okay, wait. So what's the story of Old Elk? Sorry. He was running Otterbox.
So the company, and they, those like little pellets that you put like in a fire, that make the fire much hotter. You ever seen those little things? Like they own that as well. Like they're big in Europe, where it's like these Eastern European countries where it's freezing. Instead of like building big fires with wood, like they have these little pellets that put off insane amounts of heat. Anyway, really cool company. It's like Blue Ocean or something. I forget the name. Anyway,
well, they just started.
And so they wanted to do whiskey, and so they hired Greg Metz. So Greg Metz, whose name is on the bottle, Greg Metz was the master distiller at MPG, which is in Indiana, and it's the biggest sourced distillery in the country, or probably one of the biggest in the world, where a lot of different brands that you see pop up, they'll buy barrels from MPG and then label it however they want, finish it however they want, label it however they want, but they didn't distill it from start to finish. They bought barrels. They bought aged barrels. Just think about it. Like, if you want to sell a 7-year whiskey, you have to...
Yeah, 7 years of investment you got.
You got to wait 7 years. So, anyway, they hired Greg Metz, and they didn't say, hey, it wasn't, we're consulting you to come up with our mash bill. They're like, you're done doing anything for anybody else. We're hiring you to be our master distiller.
Yeah.
So, and now they have just put out bangers, man. Like, their stuff is incredible.
And so they're buying barrels right now?
No, like they're into the point now where they've been around
their own barrels have matured.
Yes.
Oh, okay, wow.
And so they keep coming up with all these different mash bills and different unique releases. So this is Cigar Cut. So we've done a bunch of Old Elk here in the past. We've done the wheated whiskey, the wheat bourbon. This is Cigar Cut. We've done the 4-grain. We've done their Infinity Blend. They've got Old Elk is just putting out bangers, man. Their stuff is awesome. It's a high-end product at a still affordable price where you can get Old Elk bottles, like the standard in that $55, $60 range.
Yeah, that ain't bad.
And then their higher-end releases are going to be more. But you can get that's one of those that I would put in the small group of things that I'd say it's worth spending $50-$60 for their entry-level thing because it's just that good and worth doing. So anyway, so shout out Old Elk and Luis is here.
It's badass, man. Very cool that he's here. It's wild.
All right, so we're going to talk baseball, or you want to do more football?
No. I want to talk baseball. I'm just looking at the actual rhythm of the schedule. Wait, so
that's not the schedule because you don't have dates.
Okay, so these dates are these are not.
It's just the teams. You don't have dates yet.
All right.
Yeah, we don't know the dates. We just know the.
Let's get into some baseball, baby. Here we go, boys. Saturday night in Omaha, the road to a championship begins here. All bets are off. Regional Part 2.
John DeLon said Moscona needs to move his elbow. What's wrong with my elbow?
I don't know.
Move his elbow.
I was thinking the same thing, though, so I'm glad you moved it. Thank you for moving it.
Was I doing this? I don't. Anyway,
You're making me uncomfortable. Move your elbow.
Oh wait,
move
that was way back.
That's going to make me more comfortable.
Move my elbow. I don't know what to do. How about if I just slide this over? So
I think you're getting. I think you're okay. I think you're fine.
I'm just trying to be mindful. Like if I'm watching something and something's bothering me and it's fixable, I'd rather fix it.
It's like that old one of my favorite sports center commercials ever when they're watching film. And he's like, but then it's like I can't remember which anchor, but it's the anchor watching film himself, and the player's like,
it's
SVP. What are you doing here? And he's like,
it's SVP. He's like doing this. It's SVP, and then he spins around, he's backwards. He's like, I'm embarrassed.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed. It's SVP.
Oh, that's one of the best of all time, dude. What are you doing here? What are you doing with your arm? Yeah. All right. Tennessee, LSU. Who's Tennessee going to start? Lindsey?
So, who do you like?
Go ahead.
I'm not going to ask you your opinion because I know you don't know.
I was going to say, I would just think it was Dolander, but I get that Lindsey has better numbers.
So, I asked Wes Rucker, who.
Oh, shit, we were going to have him on Friday. Fuck you.
Have him on.
Yeah. We'll get
You didn't even know I had him on. Do you think the audience does? It doesn't matter.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
But Wes does there are some really good SEC baseball writers. Wes is one of them. I think Chase Parham, who covers Ole Miss, does an awesome job.
I like Mark Etheridge's D1 baseball column, which is conference as a whole, not covering the team.
I meant like in market.
Okay, like beat writers. Yeah.
Chris Lee, VandySports.com, does an awesome job. Which reminds me, I got to call him back. But anyway, David Cloninger from South Carolina. There's some really good ones. Wes is a really good one. So I trust his opinion. So I asked him that question. His assumption was that they were going to stick with it as is and go with Lindsey. But then I asked Todd Walker the same question today, and Todd said he thinks they'll throw Dolander. Just better arm and, go and try to win game one.
So, but it is better stuff, but not better stats, though, with Dolander, right? And so I guess if you're Todd Walker, how are you arriving at the opinion that he represents the better opportunity to win just because he has the better stuff, even though that stuff over the course of an entire season has proven to be more missed than Lindsey? What did LSU do against Lindsey the first time around?
They didn't face him.
Okay.
He wasn't starting then.
Oh, okay.
He didn't start. He didn't move into the rotation until the Arkansas weekend, and incidentally, they got swept that weekend. But then the next weekend, they swept Vanderbilt, and that's when they started.
Yeah, that's what started everything. They were 5-10 after getting swept by Arkansas, right? Yeah, and then they moved immediately to 8-10.
And they swept back-to-back weekends. I think they swept Vandy and Mississippi State back-to-back weekends, and just like that, we're right back in it. So I don't know. The other thing to consider is the thing that's changed the most since the last time LSU was there is they've shrunk in the week. So the championship series used to start on the CWS used to start on Saturday. Now it starts on Friday, but the championship series used to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Now it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So you've cut 2 days off the back end, so you have less downtime during the week.
Yeah.
So you don't have as many recovery days for your staff. So whereas under the old format,
when did this change?
2 years ago.
Okay.
You could have realistically gotten 3 starts out of your ace. You're probably not going to have that option.
Isn't that such a odd choice?
What?
I mean, I guess it's a television programming choice being on the weekend versus Monday, Tuesday, but it's like
it wasn't good for the fans. It wasn't even that.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. You're already there forever. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense.
It's just a very long.
But we can still agree that it's an odd thing though, where you're kind of denying it. Like
that you can have these two championship teams who in the game-deciding game are being decided by pitchers who aren't really
it's like
that impactful on their staff as a whole.
Jay said it this week. He's like, the format really reminds you a lot of a regional format, which
exactly.
Which is what happens. I mean, or the SEC tournament when you get to the end of the week or weekend, you're down. So like the best case scenario for LSU, obviously, and I've said this all year, is they've got to stay in the winners bracket, because if you fall in the losers bracket, even if you make it to the championship series, you'll have to play both Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
And so if you play Wednesday and Thursday, one of those starts, probably Skeens on Thursday, is to save your season and get you into the championship series. Well, at that point, the only way you could use him at all in the championship series,
like game 3 relief.
Yes, it would be like or a start where he gives you like 50 pitches, maybe like a bullpen day on 3 days rest. You know, like it's
weird, man.
So,
but hey, whatever. I mean, the challenge is being a team top to bottom. I can kind of respect it. Like you can spin it whatever way you want to, honestly.
The best case for LSU is win games 1 and 2. You get a rest day. You come back. Someone's got to beat you twice. You win that first one, and then you're into the championship series. And Skeens pitches the first game of the championship series. Like that's your best case. Well, hey, here's great news for you, T. Here's a hot take. The best thing for LSU to do is to win all the games.
Yeah.
So not to sound like a total no shit Sherlock.
Yeah.
I don't think.
No, but I think where you're getting at is that LSU is especially not well positioned to go through the losers bracket. Nobody is, but other teams may score a little
Tennessee
higher
is.
on the. Yeah, like Tennessee would be. They have more pitching than anybody.
I'm not worried about Tennessee Saturday because I'll pick Skeens over anybody.
Are you worried about a rematch?
I am worried about Tennessee coming out of the losers bracket and beating LSU the second time, because that could very well happen.
But then you would arrive once again at Skeens for game 3. But it's going to be your last time getting a full Skeens.
Yes.
Like you said, on Thursday,
Yes.
then in this scenario, you'd have LSU Tennessee again with Skeens.
Yes.
What if Skeens 3-0'd him? Wait, where are we at on Ben McDonald's strikeout record? Because if Skeens gets 2 more,
away.
That's what I'm saying. Like he is, if you can get Skeens' second start, he may.
He's going to break it. Yeah.
I did not think that record would be breakable in the modern era. I mean, I guess he could go get it in one start. I think it's hard to believe maybe against a Tennessee team, but potentially, I suppose.
The number of innings Ben pitched was.
Yeah, insane compared to Skeens.
Yeah.
No, I know, but that's why it would be all the more incredible if you could actually somehow get it done.
Absolutely. Like Skeens' strikeout per 9 innings mark.
It's the record.
That'll obliterate and will never. And it would have to be another Paul Skeens to break that record.
To me, looking back at that first series, again, the most interesting question is who's going to replace the Edwards and the Shores innings that you got over the weekend. And Riley Cooper's been fantastic lately. I know it's felt fantastic. I was pleased to read this morning that it was 2 runs in the last 11 innings pitched. So the bad body god finding his form at the time when it's needed most.
Were they in SEC tournament?
I don't know. I just read that it was 2 in his last 11 innings pitched, 2 runs. Because he hasn't given up
the tough part too is like when he went in against Mississippi State.
Yeah, but those
and gave
weren't
up the bomb, but they're not charging now. He gave up the bomb, but the runs were charged to.
Well, do his 11 innings stretch back that far at this point though?
That's what I'm trying
because
to
he's had some long outings here recently. I don't think it does. And that wouldn't have been one of the runs, I don't think. Either way, the point is like, okay, Cooper's been great. Gavin Guidry. Griffin Herring was the one who actually gave you the last 2 innings of Game 2 to win this series back in the day, which I kind of forgot about. What a massive moment for Herring there early on. He's still in the mix. What do you think? Do you see... Ackenhausen is back. He gave you a lot of value in Game 1 last time. Or what was it? Just maybe just like 1 out for Ackenhausen, but still played a role.
Wait,
obviously coming in after
Cooper gave up 2 runs against Oregon State.
Okay, there you go.
But you said 11 innings.
In his last 11 innings, he's only given up 2 runs.
Oh, okay. Well, that was the 2 to got it. Okay,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So he pitched twice against Georgia, Arkansas in the SEC tournament, gave up 2 against Oregon State, then was really good for 3 innings against Kentucky.
Yeah, so he's been solid. He's someone Ackenhausen still as well. Ackenhouse can only give you 1 out and give a run in that game. So we'll see. I feel good about the bullpen. It's just interesting that you're not going to have Shores, you're not going to have Edwards, and then they're going to have someone like Lindsey who wasn't there the first time around, and now they're talking about putting him up potentially up against Paul Skeens. Like, it was a long time ago when you two played each other. But I feel good, dude. I feel like LSU's going to whoop their ass because, like you said, I trust Paul Skeens over anything. And I believe in this LSU team. I believe that it's a team that looked their weaknesses in the face at the end of the year and had them laid bare. I feel like they're a team that processed it, showed mental toughness, moved on, and guys stepped up. Whether it was the bullpen, we set out of Hoover. You know, even though, whatever, you can be upset about how you lost, but, like, honestly, like, you felt good about the bullpen coming out of Hoover. Everybody who you had questions about slumping at the plate came up with big plays at the plate in the regional and the super regional.
Who were you concerned with slumping at the plate?
Well, you know, I mean, look, there was the Cruz talk, and then he went back to it. See, but here's the deal, though. Matt. His slump was still really good, right, for a normal player. But Cruz did get back to being God mode. Like, he got back to the elite form that we saw him earlier this season, which should have been impossible. But he did, like, that, like, the Cruz stuff is not, if you're victory lapping, I told you, like, to me, that's not the right, like, you shouldn't be victory lapping by Cruz. We should be honoring the fact that he got back to an unrealistic level of play. Like that play that he carried for so long in the beginning of the year, which should not be reattainable when the competition gets the best, he somehow found his way back to. That's incredible to me. Trey Morgan was struggling for a bit there. He's been on fire lately.
Trey just had a tough regional.
You had Tommy White kind of chasing, it felt like,
pressing.
in the regional.
He was pressing, yeah.
He came back big. Certainly Gavin Dugas, and he needed his moment. He's hit a couple home runs, couple big hits lately. I mean, Pearson at 9 has just been a godsend. He's not one of the ones that was slumping, but his emergence has just changed, I feel like, the dynamic of the entire lineup. I mean, Hunt said it the other night, in the super deciding game, 9 hits, all 9 players, right? Just 1 hit apiece. Like, and the fact that you have this LSU team leading in home runs, but nobody has 20, right? No, not even really close, right? And if you look at some of these other teams, you'll have a cat with 30, another cat with 20. Like, this is the most.
No, Tommy White. Tommy is.
Is he close to 20 now?
He might have gotten 20 with his 2 homers.
Oh, no shit. Okay, that's on me.
Let's
but
see.
Still.
No, I'll tell you, he's either at like 19 or 20.
The point is, it's the most. They lead the country in home runs because it's the most spread out production in home runs. It's all over the place.
Tommy's at 22. He's at 22.
Oh, damn, work out. I didn't realize that.
No,
okay.
Yeah, 22. Yeah, 22.
Fuck, shout out Tommy, dude. I didn't realize that.
And
Cruz up to 17 now. I didn't realize that.
Beloso is at 14.
I know you got Bear at
14. Oh, Gavin's at 15.
Sitting on the bench.
Well.
Gavin's at 15. Damn, dude, work out, you guys.
The thing about Dugas is, and I know I've talked about him a lot with this, but it's not. You got to ignore the batting average. It's not about, and this is why he was a great leadoff guy. Because what you want
he gets
from
on base, he gets hit.
He just gets on base. So like his average is 288, which of your starters is second lowest only to Jordan Thompson. But his on base percentage is 453. The only starter with a better on base percentage than Gavin Dugas is Dylan Cruz at 570.
570.
Which is why, like,
which
I'm perfectly fine with Cruz being the leadoff hit. Like, he's a great leadoff hit. I have no problem with him as a tone setter. I have no problem with assuring him more at bats, right? Because when the lineup turns over, he's going to bat first. So, like, I have no problem with Dylan Cruz for all the reasons he's a great leadoff hitter. The only thing is I look at him and I go, he's also a great run producer. And if you could have Dugas, who gets on base at a 453 clip, followed by Morgan, who in the 2-hole is going to see more fastballs, and as much as he handles the bat, you get those 2 guys on base, followed by Cruz, White, Travinsky.
Well, but are you still essentially getting that? It feels like majority of the time? Like, because Pearson is turning over the lineup so often?
And with Gavin back.
And with Dugas back there? Like, I feel like functionally, that's one of the quirkiest parts about this lineup. Again, we talked about that this week. Like, you would never expect. You got to keep Cruz and White together because they just protect each other so much, right? And then Travinsky's emergence has been insane. And so essentially, though, just the bottom lineup so strong that it's okay to lead them off because it's like, I don't know about, maybe I'm taking a step too far, Matt. But it almost feels like if I was a pitcher, it would be odd to pitch against LSU rhythmically because of that setup.
some of the things that you've maybe got used to where you can push in the lineup, where you can be a little more aggressive, don't really hold true. Like, sure, maybe you're not facing as much first inning pressure potentially because Tommy White's not coming up with like 2 on and 1 out, but all of a sudden you can go a little, but it can get a bit confusing when you think you're at the bottom lineup and you're safe, and then all of a sudden, no, you have Dugas getting hit by a pitch and getting on. Maybe Thompson gets out, but then you have Pearson turnover, and all of a sudden you're in the exact same situation that you thought you were previously, only from the most unexpected part of the lineup.
That's Luis.
Shout out Luis. How's he so young?
Oh,
I'm so successful.
I know.
Fuck, I hate people like that. Chill out, dude.
The other thing we haven't talked a ton about is.
I mean, am I crazy, or is that just? I'm probably just overthinking it. Having a strong 1 through 9 is a strong 1 through 9. But I do wonder if it presents an odd rhythm for what pitchers are used to, having it crafted in the way that it is currently.
I don't know necessarily about it being crafted. It's just so rare that you have a lineup at any level of baseball that can hit 1 through 9. Usually in any lineup, you're going to have outs in the lineup, people that are in the lineup for their defense.
Yeah.
Like professionally, this is why the conversation about the catching position the last 2 years has been so forefront, because when you had Milazzo 2 years ago, and then last year when Milazzo was hurt, and it was Travinsky and McManus, like McManus gave you a good bat. He and Travinsky were a liability defensively. Milazzo 2 years ago was really good defensively, but was a liability with the bat.
Yeah.
And so it was like, do you sacrifice a bat to have a good glove at a premium position, right? That's what it's always like. It's center field, short, catcher. It's just like in football, center, middle, linebacker, safety. You want to be good up the middle. So
quarterback as well.
But now we went through the stats the other day. Jake had him on OTB, but the pass balls, Milazzo wins, but Hayden's actually been
we talked about this. We talked about
right?
this last week here. So the thing that defensive catching, so much of it doesn't translate to the stat sheet.
Okay, fair.
So like this is, I'll give you a couple of for instances. The best example I can give you in recent LSU history was Michael Papierski, who was a fucking brick wall behind the plate. Pap was awesome. And Alex Lang was such a dominant pitcher because of his hammer. Like, he could throw 95, but he could also throw his breaking ball for a strike, but then he can also throw it 57 feet, and because he's shown you he can throw it for a strike, you got to swing, and you're going to swing over the top of it because he's throwing it 57 feet. You just don't know it. Mm-hmm. But in order to bury that pitch, especially if you got a runner on third, you got to trust your catcher is going to block it up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to be hesitant to throw that pitch. Well, like, that's something that never goes into the box score, but that's a dominant defensive catcher.
Fair.
Do teams choose not to run in certain scenarios because of the respect for a catcher's arm and ability to control the running game? And then how many strikes does a catcher steal because of his ability to frame pitches?
That's true, and Travinsky's not the best framer.
He's a butcher.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, like, he
has butcher energy.
He's got to play.
Like from the boys.
And to be clear,
he's got daddy energy. He doesn't have time to be bullshitting around framing fucking pitches, okay?
To be clear.
Call it a strike or not, you bitch.
Oh, nice. Oh, going purple top? Ooh, the 10-year. Look at this, the Willett purple top. The single barrel bourbon.
Son of a bitch, dude. What are you trying to ply us with all these delicious, amazing bourbons?
That's a clean glass? That's a clean glass you brought? Thank you. I didn't know if that was mine from before. Willett purple top is a very, 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 very rare pour.
If I pour water in here, can I clean out my glass?
Yeah, just dump it.
Yeah. Yeah, hadn't you never tried Willett Purple before we came here?
I'd had it, but
I thought there was one thing here that we tried that you'd actually never had before.
They let me try it. Thank you, Wiggins.
Only $30 tonight.
Only $30 for a Willett Purple Top Pour.
And how much would that be regularly?
60.
Oh my God.
That's the point.
50%. Tap
it's
off,
incredible.
boys. $30, $60.
But that's the point. So like when you come and you get to try stuff like this, that you otherwise would never find or have an opportunity to try, or you'd have to pay a lot for it. To come on a night like this is awesome that they're doing this. So you always look at the color.
I can't see the color because of the ice, and I just like the condensation. What are you looking for in the color, though?
A lot of times you can just tell the tone. So, like, is it darker? Is it lighter? Do you get more amber hues? Do you get more like
I'll say this. People talk about stuff having a nice, what do you call it when it's nice on the nose?
A nose.
Okay. This is incredibly pleasant on the nose. A nasal winner, if you will. Ooh. Ooh. That is a type of subtle burn, whatever you want to call it, Kentucky Hug. I don't know. That is what I'm looking for in terms of the bite. Flavor-wise, it's very good. I don't feel like I'm particularly good at picking out flavors, but in terms of feeling, that is exactly what I'm looking for. Let me see if I can pick out any flavors. I don't think I can pick out just specific flavors. Maybe I can pick out profiles. Let me see.
And smack your lips. That'll open it up.
No, I don't feel confident. Like, I don't feel confident enough to say any flavors.
Why not?
No,
it's just what you taste.
That's what I'm saying. Like, nothing is. Like, there's no words popping into my head.
Okay.
Like even if I'm trying to pull, like the one word that came to my head is cinnamon, but I'm not actually.
Cinnamon, yes, absolutely.
You think there's cinnamon in there?
Okay, absolutely.
Okay. I did have a little cinnamon pop in my head.
It's like Big Red gum.
Yeah,
you get cinnamon. You get a lot of peppery cinnamon.
That's where that feeling is. Yes, I feel like peppery feels accurate. God, that's a good fucking.
It is very bold. It's a very so the purple top. It's a very bold flavor.
I like bold.
That doesn't overwhelm you. Where you get the Kentucky Hug and the burn and the heat, but it's not just fire in your mouth. That's the challenge. It's like the maybe I hate to say like layman's. It's like, you know, when you eat hot wings. Like, you want something that's gonna give you like that a little bit of burn on your tongue where you need to get a sip of beer.
Yeah,
but
it's
don't
want to be like
you're not gonna be uncomfortable.
Yeah, no.
Right, so that's whenever you start to get into really higher proof whiskey. Sometimes, like when you can do it really well. So like Jack Daniel's released their Coy Hill was their allocated release 2 years ago, and it was like 148 proof, which is insane. But it's majestic. It's
148 is a heavy boy.
Yes, it's like
that's closing in on grain alcohol levels.
But it's magnificent. That's why it's an achievement, because you can look and go, it's 148 proof, but it doesn't kill you.
Yeah,
it doesn't overwhelm you.
Yeah.
You know, so you're like, man, that's incredible. So
that's my favorite thing I've tasted in a long fucking time, liquor-wise.
Yeah, yes. Purple Top's. Willett Purple Top is magnificent. So Willett, I actually like Willett Rye better than I do. The Purple Top
like
is their
all
bourbon.
ryes, though, don't you?
I love rye.
Yeah.
So, but the Willett did a 7-year rye this year, and I actually had an opportunity to buy either the Purple Top or the 7-year rye. I sampled them side by side here, and I picked the 7-year rye. I took a 7-year rye. Yeah. Willett does great stuff, except the pot still. The Willett pot still is dog shit. Don't ever buy that. You've seen it. The pot still is the thing. It's a big, wide bottom, and then it's just like a long. Look, I mean, it's like a pot still.
Maybe
it's you've seen it before. I guarantee you. It's just a dog shit whiskey, but the bottle's pretty.
You hate a gimmick.
The bottle is pretty. I mean, it's a like I would buy the bottle, dump out the whiskey, and then just have the bottle.
Before we get to, give it to me. I'll drink the whiskey. I'll give you the bottle back right after.
I know you trying to see the pot.
Before we get into Ask Scone T, I read some numbers. Wilson Alexander had a good 5 questions article today. I thought 5 questions. LSU needs to answer no matter win a championship. And one of them,
or baseball?
In baseball, excuse me.
Okay.
And he went back to his roots a little bit.
How about that?
Oh, Wilson did.
Boy.
But
don't they all?
One of the first was about power in Charles Schwab. I still want to call it TD Ameritrade, but power in Charles Schwab, right? And pointing out that yes, you had the 20.
Think glazed donut. Sniff it. Think glazed donut. Do you get the sugar and
yes,
a glazed donut?
I'm absolutely getting the sugar. 100, just with a little burn, but I'm absolutely getting the sugar, dude. 100%. Yeah. It feels obvious now. Maybe that's like I was prepared for, but either way.
Willett purple top, the 10-year.
But nobody would ever accuse me again of having a. Somebody said it looks like the ice cream guy, Hunter Fournette. That I feel like it. You ever seen the ice cream taster online?
But you don't have to do that.
Have you ever seen him though? Have
you
ever seen him? He's his ice cream taster, and that's how he did, like a professional. And that's how he does it.
Well, that's what it does. It's that is opening up flavors. So like you really the way that I was described to do it was to like, later, bro. All right, Truex. See you, dude.
All right, bro.
Was act as if like you're just mashing corn like that. Not chewing. Just like you're mashing corn. Just
I like doing it like this.
Then do whatever makes you happy there. You do.
God, that is a sweet treat.
That's why it's $60.
But not overly sweet. Not like some people saying, it sounds like you're talking about Fireball. And I actually could get how you could maybe land there, but no, it's in a whole nother dimension. It's not. Wow.
Okay,
anyway, real quick.
Wilson Alexander.
He just pointed out that, yes, there was the horror show of 6 home runs in 30 games in 2013 and 14, right? Then I think every year since 2017, there's been at least 18 home runs hit. And then the last couple of years, it was around 28 or something around that.
28 each of the last
Okay, so the question is, how worried are you? And I guess every team relies on power nowadays, so it's kind of an even playing field. But, about the park.
0.
Okay. Cool. That's all I need to hear.
I can give you some context if you want it, but actually, Musso and I did this to open a.
How did the home runs recover then? Is it the ball?
They lowered the seam on the ball.
Yeah, I remember that.
They've now juiced the ball again.
Yeah.
And they've woken up the bats.
Okay.
So actually,
because like all stadiums in the SEC are actually kind of like home run parks, right?
Not all. No. The box is actually a bigger park.
Oh, really?
It just plays small because the wind blows out and the humidity, and when it gets hotter than humidity, the ball flies and carries. So
if you had a little bit of that wind, I'd be having a goatee and a mustache right now, or a soul patch and a mustache right now. But
on a breezy day, Travinsky would have gotten one.
Which, by the way, we've extended it through Omaha because I want to do it. But I also don't want to alter the terms of the bet because I feel like it's karma right now. A bit superstitious. So. And I want anybody who wants to ride with me to ride with me. So if you have facial hair, maybe a beard, if Hayden Travinsky hits a 3-run home run at any time in Omaha, we are shaving our facial hair into the Travinsky. So
I'm in.
Just a mustache and a soul patch.
I'm in.
Let's go. Let's go, boys. Let's fucking go, dude. Everybody's riding together, dude. We're riding on Hayden. All right, you want to do some Ask Scone T?
Yep.
Ask Scone T. How bad will the umpiring be in Omaha? Yeah, I gotta love that.
Okay.
Get pre-angry. Let's fucking
Here's
go,
the one thing that I want to remind you. This is what I want to remind you, okay? Because when you get to Omaha, the games are going to be on ESPN. They're going to have more cameras, more technology, all that shit. You're going to have K-Zone. So it's going to be the first time all year that
I fucking hate K-Zone.
Okay, but it's going to be the first time all year that you watch a game with K-Zone.
No.
A college strike zone should be bigger than K-Zone.
K-Zone's the worst thing ever.
Because these are still college pitchers. They're not guys in a major league rotation. We've seen dominant college pitchers never sniff the show because it's really fucking hard to be that fucking good. So just remember, you're going to see K-Zone and you're going to see strikes called that are outside of the K-Zone. And as long as that's going both ways, you should be fine with it because a college pitcher strike zone should be bigger than K-Zone.
Yeah, there's like
just like when I go watch my 12-year-old nephew play.
Yeah.
If they're calling it based on K-Zone, no one would ever throw a fucking strike. Okay, you gotta expand the zone a little bit.
I feel like you know how like in a lot of stories there's the idea of forbidden knowledge. Like knowledge you shouldn't be privy to because it'll poison your mind. That's fucking K-Zone. Life was better before we had K-Zone.
In watching a Major League Baseball game, K-Zone is awesome.
I hate it.
Because it's showing you what it should be. And in Major League Baseball,
what it should be is what humans fucking decide.
You should be able to dot the fucking corner of the K-Zone.
Dot the corner of the ump's fucking zone. How about that? Fucking hate K-Zone, dude. Fucking
Thank
robot
God.
Bullshit.
Thank God for replay.
You know what? K-Zone's some chat GPT fucking
Do you realize
bullshit.
that without cameras and
Love replay? Love replay. Didn't say that.
Clemson would have beaten Tennessee in the first game of their region.
Well, I mean, I would have fucking loved that. So
I
don't care. Whatever. I'd be fine.
But I tweeted because that. But you want to talk about karma? There's a great example of it because eventually that's going to be your team.
No, for sure. But
your team's on the shit end.
I don't mind replay. You know, there's lines to all of this. I draw the line in K-zone. I fucking hate it. I like no part of it.
I'm ready to be done with umpires. Just give me K-zone.
Oh my God, that's the worst thing I've ever fucking heard. Here we go. Okay, there's a bunch of Musso. What's your favorite tequila drink? He's not listening. A bunch of Ask Musso about weed stuff. A bunch of Ask Musso. Okay.
Thad Landry said, "Man, I miss watching this show." Thank you for being here, Thad.
Ask Scone T. 11-1 or 10-2 for LSU football in 23. I can't bring myself to an 11-1 predict yet, y'all. I just can't. 10-2 feels like a great season. Feels more realistic. I have to pump the brakes in my own sunshine. Like I can't. I don't want to. And last year I did this as well, and I actually ended up undershooting. But I always like undershooting rather than overshooting. So I can't go full bore and say 11-1 yet. Though if I would look at the schedule, I
what did you pick them last year?
There.
You remember?
9-3, like 8-4. I think. I want to say I started at 9-3, and I dinged myself down to 8-4. But that if you could go 9-3, that'd be a great season. But I'm pretty sure that I graded myself down on a curve and went to 8-4 to negate the sunshine, which I am doing again. But I'm still holding a high expectation. Like 10-2 is not fucking easy, dude. That shit is hard. And 10-2 in year 2 is spectacular. But that is kind of where my head's at right now.
I think they are capable of winning every game on their schedule.
They are.
It's just really fucking hard to do.
Yeah.
And if you get past Florida State week 1, I think there's a very, very, very realistic chance that you go to Alabama undefeated. And if you win that game, you are undefeated and you go to the SEC championship game undefeated. And you play Georgia, and, you know, if you lose that, you're probably still in the playoff at 12-1.
Yeah, you would. I mean, no, you'd absolutely still be in the playoff. Ask Scone T.
But if they lose to Florida State, I would say 10-2. But I think I would not be surprised at all if this team wins every game on their schedule because they are capable. I love that you have a fifth-year senior quarterback. I love the weapons offensively. I love the depth and continuity you've built on the offensive line.
They're so good all over the place.
They are.
Like, they should be good.
LSU will be favored, and LSU will be favored in every game except Alabama.
Yeah.
And I am not a believer in Alabama this year. I'm not burying Alabama. My consistent stance
is
has
still
been
ahead of LSU, but maybe not this year.
This team
not starters.
This team needs to prove. What I've said a bajillion times about Bama is last year they played 5 coin flip games last year.
Yeah.
And they won 3 of them. But they could have very easily lost to Arkansas, Ole Miss, Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Texas as well. And they lost in overtime to LSU and on a late field goal to Tennessee. I mean, it was a team that very easily could have been 7-5 if the breaks don't go their way. But they had Bryce Young. But now you take Bryce Young away and you lose both coordinators. I don't know that I look at Alabama and I just scribble in 11 wins for them or 10 wins for them.
I feel you do. If Nick Saban pulls this off,
it would be a great coaching job.
That would be maybe the job of his career, ironically enough. I guess it all changes, though, if Simpson's actually good, right? Like, we don't know that just because Saban was, like, frustrated after spring doesn't mean shit. Just because he brought in Buckner doesn't mean shit. I mean, all that means is he's trying to motivate his quarterback, you know? Like, what if he's just trying, like, what if Simpson was great, but Saban's like, you know what, I got to tell him he's not, like, I don't know.
I don't think they got good quarterback play, Dad.
I don't think they do, but I'm just saying there are outs. There are outs there, so we'll see. And we'll see, man. I can't fucking wait. I love sports, and it's all popping off right now. Ask Scone T, thoughts on Oral? Do they have the stamina to go the distance, or will they blow it early? Talking about Oral Roberts, who made Omaha. I don't know much about Oral. I know they're a 4 seed.
They're a really, really veteran team. Like, everybody is a 4th and 5th year guy. They remind me a lot of that Coastal Carolina team that won the national championship.
3rd 4 seed to make Omaha, along with Stony Brook and
Fresno State in 08.
Who won the Natty?
Yeah.
So you're saying Oral might get all the way to the finish. Get the big one. Come. Ask Scone T. Have y'all gotten in contact with the Orlando alumni chapter about setting up a show for LSU FSU? We're going, right?
Someone should ask the program director.
We're going, right?
Going where?
To Orlando?
I don't know. You going? I don't know.
Bitch, you're a boss. Figure it out, dude.
What is it?
The PMP?
Oh. That's a very healthy pour as well.
Randall Offreck says, why does T-Bob like the old grumpy fat guy behind the plate with a different zone every game? Because I think fundamentally one of the aspects of baseball is, at least when it comes to strikes and balls, and this is where you can say I'm a hypocrite because I draw my own lines, and that's fine, I'll accept it. It's just my opinion. Is knowing an ump zone, right? And an ump maybe even being a bit shifty with his zone, maybe getting caught up one way or another. Is it fair, right? No, but it has always been a part of the game. Like, baseball is the oldest game in American history, and for the vast majority of the time, the players are having to game the ump as much as they were the pitcher and everybody else. Like, it's just always been a part of the game. And so I appreciate it. I like it. And I feel like once you know K-Zone, you apply this objectivity, and it replaces the subjectivity that I really liked about it. Where if my team throws a strike, fuck yeah, it's a strike. If that team throws it's fucking bullshit. Like, that's just fun to me. That's good. Like, you get burned by it, but you burn others just as often. Like, you get the call as well. All of a sudden with K-Zone, everything's right or wrong, and it's all very black or white, and all artistry is lost. It's like the exact thing that's going on with AI art right now. Right? I mean, it's drawing from human inspiration, but it's seeking to make humans irrelevant. Fuck it. I fucking hate the K-Zone.
I love the K-Zone.
I know you do, because you're a little robot bitch.
Get it right.
Matt beat Boop Scona.
Because that's the way it's always been argument is such dog shit. No, if that was the case, then we'd all be shitting outside and we'd be riding horses to work.
Oh, did I say that argument works in every station in life? No, even in baseball it doesn't work. I love instant replay. Like, I'm not saying this is 100% blanket rule. It's just with the strike zone. Strike zones are tight when they're decided by humans and not by fucking
You're
some
the one
program.
who said, because that's the way it's always been for 120 years.
No. With the strike zone specifically is what I'm talking about. And that's what I said. I said at the very beginning, the preface was, if you want to be like T-Bob, you got to be consistent. I don't think you do in life, but whatever. Like, so I'm admitting to inconsistency because I love instant replay. I just don't like the fucking K-Zone. It's forbidden knowledge. Once you have that knowledge, all it does is create frustration. And then, as you said, you get impressed when you paint a corner and everything, certainly, but the majority of the time it's just pissing you off.
Kirk Taylor said, ask Scone T, when the SEC goes to a 9-game schedule, if they adopt the Big Ten model, what 3 games would you like to see LSU have permanently?
I thought we already basically decided this. I thought it was going to be A&M, Alabama, and then maybe like Mississippi State.
It said, what 3 would you like to have them permanently?
Oh.
What would you like to see them have permanently?
I would A&M, Alabama, and Mississippi State. I actually would like that. I know Jake would want Florida. Some would want Ole Miss. Some would want Auburn probably over Ole Miss, right? But they're not really, because Auburn's going to be good, though.
No, I don't want them.
A&M, Alabama, and Mississippi State represents the best mixture of, like, rivalries, good teams, bad teams. Like, you're running the gamut there. Like, I feel like they actually nailed it when that was the proposal a little while ago. Nick Saban was like, "Why do I got to play Tennessee? They're so fucking..." Fuck you, Nick. Tennessee sucks forever, dude. My 3 would be Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, and Kentucky. Okay, yeah. See, no. That is disingenuous. That is I'm intellectually dishonest. He said, what 3 games would you like to see LSU have permanently? I would like to see LSU have Mississippi State, that it's also Vanderbilt, and Kentucky. No. Okay, fine. Let's be realistic. Drop Kentucky and give me South Carolina. Next. I don't think so. Ask Scone T, who wins, Cox or Oral? Unbelievable. Gamecocks are oral. They must be confused. South Carolina didn't make it.
South Carolina didn't make it.
Oh, Brendan, you got confused. That's an honest mistake. He didn't mean that. He must have thought they made it for some reason. I can't see why else he would have attached the two words together. Ask Scone T. Have either of you been to Barrett's Barleycorn in Omaha? I have not, and I wish I could go to Omaha this year. I go on my fucking wife's beach trip. I love my in-laws. They're great, but...
Yeah, thanks for letting me know that you're going to be gone the week of Omaha the Saturday before that week.
Bro, I didn't realize until, like, the Saturday before that week. I let you know as soon as I realized. I'm not used to LSU making Omaha.
I literally got the time off request on fucking Sunday.
Monday, actually. It's even worse.
I'm sorry. Monday.
It was right before our meeting. Shit. I'm still going to try to do, I'm going to do segments in the morning to at least get my thoughts, but.
No. Go on vacation.
No. This is not like, it's not like I feel compelled to, like, I got to get these takes off. I got to get these takes off after the game. For sure.
Can you imagine if Harlow Hester is born next week? LSU's in the College World Series. T-Bob's at the beach, and Harlow's born, and so Jake's out.
Can you give me an emergency Comrex?
No.
Give me a Comrex, dude. Give me a fucking Comrex.
Charles and Jimmy are taking one to
yeah, give me the other one. I can do 6 to 9 easy.
Where's the other one? I don't even know where the other one is.
I'm just saying, bro. You give me a Comrex. I ain't scared to hop on that thing.
Nah. We got it covered.
Let's see.
We've already taken care of it.
Ask Scone T, revenge game against UCLA in Death Valley? Will we spank them? It is a revenge game. What the fuck?
What?
We lost to UCLA. Somebody said revenge game in Death Valley. Are we going to spank him? Hell yeah, we are, dude. It's a new day. UCLA's about to get the ass whooping they should have gotten a couple years ago. And also, I don't know.
And their sissy blue shirts.
Exactly. I actually don't know how they're going to be post DTR and everybody. Like, maybe Chip Kelly gets them going and they get better, but I'd be a little worried if I was a UCLA fan. You've lost now one last 2 years. You lost Baby Gronk, DTR, Charbonnet. Like, you've lost a lot of really good players.
Eric Ledoux, which team has the hardest schedule in 24? I haven't looked at them all yet, Eric. Like, we've literally just been sitting here doing the show, so we looked at LSU's.
I heard Alabama's a bit.
That was the one thing we didn't look at because I do want to. You had mentioned that earlier, and I wanted to tell you which ones they have. Hang on.
Joe D said OTB going to get Wally Pipp. Mars going to never give it back to us. He's going to be fucked.
All right, here you go. You ready? Mm-hmm. Alabama's home games: Auburn, Georgia, Missouri, South Carolina. Road games: LSU, Oklahoma, Tennessee.
Okay, get the fuck out. Who the fuck said Alabama's schedule was harder?
They get Vanderbilt.
Now they got good out. They got good out of conference games.
They draw Georgia.
No, they got LSU. Yeah, but they also draw Vandy. And they negates each other. And they get South Carolina and Mizzou. What are we talking about?
And you get Tennessee.
Yeah, but whatever. I mean, guys, Tennessee's good, but, like, can we get off our knees?
Wait, hang on. Can I just say Tennessee beat Alabama in Neyland this past year. Alabama's...
Do it again!
Right, hold on. Road games: LSU, Oklahoma, Tennessee. Those are 3 really tough road games.
Alabama always wins in Baton Rouge. What the fuck are they worried about? Get out of here.
How did they do last year?
Yeah, hell yeah, that's fucking right. That's a normal schedule to me. Normal schedule. Keep it moving. I mean...
Of course, they threw in Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
At least LSU got Vandy also.
I mean, LSU's got Alabama. Like, what are we talking about? It's as it should be. I want to beat their ass every single year. I think that's it.
All right. Shout out 211 watching live.
Hey, what up, y'all?
Smash that like button.
Hell yeah,
Smash
dude.
it.
Subscribe to the 104.5 ESPN channel. Subscribe to our show's channel.
Yes.
If you're into it. And
do it anyway.
And then if you're on Facebook, you definitely want to be following 104.5 ESPN because it kind of sucks because of, like, how algorithms work. We can't really put baseball shit on YouTube, but we can put it all on Facebook. So our sit-downs with Jay Johnson, interviews with players, discussions, like it all goes on there. So that's a great place to follow there. And
TikTok.
Well, yeah, and then I was going to say, in TikTok is where a lot of the jokes, like me telling Big Game Boomer to eat my ass, tend to live. So there you go. And Instagram. Follow us on all socials. 242 on my screen. We were at. Oh, yeah. Yeah, 242 on Bilbo's end as well. Let's go. Ask Scone T, over-under 1.5 wins for LSU and Omaha. I'm taking the over, bitch. I ain't scared.
Check this out, bro. This is what. So we pin at the top of the ESPN TikTok whatever videos have the most views.
Yeah.
So for a little while, your Auburn girl video, the Auburn girl with the cheer was up there, but you've been surpassed. My library rant, Hanny on Jay Kaner, the one that's got the most views, 614,000 is me when Jokic and the billionaire Ishbia from the Suns. Yeah. And I was like, he should throw a fucking elbow in his neck even harder. That's at 614,000.
Wow.
That's so stupid. One thing that I've determined, so we have a social media consultant, whatever, with Lori, who does a great job. Every time when we meet every other week, and we go over everything, all our numbers, all the everything, performance.
It says over under 1.5 bunts for LSU and Omaha, by the way. But continue.
She's basically determined that there's two things above all else that work better than everything that we do at 104.5 ESPN. It's me yelling. It's me yelling and you being you.
It is. Unfortunately,
so stupid.
One of the things I've realized is it is the cheapest form of entertainment, but people love when you yell. Not just you, like just being loud and obnoxious, like it's when I do like it's just but not people like it, dude.
But we even look like not every stupid thing that you do that we put on performs.
No, it's like improv comedy. You know, I mean, a lot of it's going to be shit.
Some of it's going to be good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's an old John Rhys Davies quote from talking about Lord of the Rings. When he was Gimli and they're doing the drinking scene, he was improvising lines. He said, improvisation is 90% shit, but it's, the 10% that you're looking for. And so it's that same type deal.
Ooh, I love this question. Josh Giraldo, unsung hero for LSU and Omaha. It's got to be a pitcher.
Yeah, it's like a Javen Coleman coming in some spot where he's just been asked to.
Someone's going to have to do what Caleb Gilbert did in 2017. Yes, exactly. It's going to be someone you're not expecting that goes and gives you 7 innings of 1-run ball. Like it's going to be that. It's going to be Trey Hodges in 2000.
And that's also what you don't want to run into. That's also what you get concerned about running into, right? Is somebody else doing that for the other team? Ask Scone T. Nah, never mind.
What?
No, they're just. I don't think they're I thought they were good questions.
Matt stopped short of saying you being an idiot.
Yeah, it's like what
Well, you just being no. It was dramatic.
No,
you being
no.
You.
I know. Yes, no. But that's what I'm saying. Like we understand the dynamic. It's a straight man and the clown. Yes. Like this is this. Yeah, exactly.
Joe D said Blake Money, dude. I don't think so, bro.
Champ's been killing the Blake Money
10.
in there.
Up 10 or down 10, bro.
Randall Alfreck says Trey Morgan MVP in Omaha.
Little throws a complete game with 50 strikeouts.
Yes, dude. He has the stuff.
On that note.
He has the stuff, dude.